Hello everyone, welcome back to X-Plane 11. Once again, my name is jfavignano. Today we're going to do a flight in the default 737-800 that comes with X-Plane 11. And we're doing a flight from Houston, William P. Hobby Airport up to Memphis. This may be a little familiar since I did a flight like this on my Twitch channel, but that was because it was like a familiarization flight, so I could get used to the airports. With that said, we are just going to be starting off cold and dark here, so let's hop up into the cockpit. It's a very stormy afternoon here in Houston, and it should clear up as we head up to Memphis. It should be a really nice flight. All right, aboard the 737-800 series, we have our views all set up. I've got my main view, I've got the MCP view, I've got, you know, the throttle quadrant, the lower pedestal. I've got a little quick, you know, for all the switches there, overhead panel, and so on and so forth. And I've got a first officer and a side wing view. I can't get back into the cabin to do wing views, so that's not going to be happening for some reason. Why is that sideways? That should not be sideways. Let's reset that guy. I don't know why he was doing that. So let's get started with getting the airplane powered up. So let's go to the overhead panel. We can go to external power right off the bat if you want to get you know, everything rolling here. But what we're going to do is start up the APU. So we're going to start on ground power first, and then we'll start the APU. So let's go ahead and turn our fuel pumps on. That looks good. Yaw damper on. Let's go down the thing. We're not using checklists or anything like that, but yaw damper is going to come on heading down here. That looks good. Fuel pumps are on, and that looks all good as well. Standby power is checked. Gens are not going to be a thing. We're waiting. Like I said, we're going to start the APU. So let's go ahead and start the APU now down here. We'll go into start mode. There it goes right there. EGT is rising. And once the APU is fired up, we're going to be able to see a blue light right here. That should pop up and let us know that the APU is good to go as far as generator. There it was right there. So we can go over to APU gen. Let's turn that APU bleed on. So that is looking good as well. Let's continue our flows. Circuit breaker light panels, all that good stuff looks good. Emergency exit lights are armed. Seatbelt signs be on auto for right now. Wipers are in park, and they are animated. For a default airplane, this thing is pretty awesome, I've got to say. Engine start panel looks good. We'll go window heats can come on. Probes can come on. Both the A and Bs. That looks good. Hydraulic pumps, we're going to go ahead and flip those guys on for now. This all looks good. I believe the landing altitude is going to be... we're going to be flight level 370 today, so let's go up to 370. I could be doing this wrong, actually. I don't remember if this particular airplane requires the flight altitude be punched in or not. And I believe that the landing... Well, we'll get the landing elevation here in a little while. So that's all set. I don't see anything else that needs to be done on the overhead except for... We're going to go steady nav lights on. We can turn that logo line on if we want. Well, actually, not worry about it. It's during the day. Wing light and all that stuff, we'll leave that off for now. And return back to here. And as you can see right here, everything is all popped up. What is really neat about these default airplanes, the X-Plane 11, is that all the weather is painted on the weather radar. We have the weather radar right here. You can turn it on and off if you want. You can turn the different waypoints on and off. And airports as well, which is really nice to clean this up and go down a little bit more. There we go. And we're pretty much ready to start getting everything set to go. Let's start off with the FMS down here, the FMC, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to click on it so it pops up open bigger here so you guys can actually see it a lot better instead of me zooming all the way in there, you know. First things first, nav data out of date, of course. We're going to hit clear on that guy. It's not a big deal. We're going to go to flight plan, and we're going to enter in KHOU. UUU, there it is right there. And we're gonna go destination KMEM for Memphis. KMEM goes in there, beautiful. Flight, I believe it's 301. I don't remember. That looks good. So, here's the tricky thing. If we go to the departure, see the procedures could not be loaded for runway 12 left, not found, blah, 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 understand. Because this is beta still. If we go into departures, you're gonna notice there's no SIDs available to us, right? Don't worry about it. Go back to the flight plan page, and here we have VIA and 2. So all we have to do is go to, we're doing the Lyric 2 departure. So we're just going to go direct to Lyric. So we're going to put an LURIC. Lyric goes right there. And you can actually execute that if you'd like. So we're gonna do Lyric, and then we're going to do next, we'll do ELD, but what we'll do is we'll put that in the flight plan, or in the legs page, rather. But we can get our legs page open here by hitting legs. And now we can put in ELD, which is a VOR that we're gonna be using, and that's gonna go right here. It's gonna say, hey, you want the one 7,000 nautical miles away from you, or the one that's 252? Obviously, we're gonna go with the 252. So ELD is good to go there. Now we can go to the arrival into Memphis and get set up for this guy. We're gonna be landing on runway, I believe it's 31 center. And it's gonna be on the Hoburg 1 arrival. I think it's like Hoburg 2 now. But our nav database is out, of course. And it's gonna be, we want the center runway. Where you at? Where you at? 36 center? Or maybe you can't do it on that one. 18. Hoburg 36. Oh, we can do 36 left and 36 right. Let's do 36 right. That'll work. Yeah. So we're gonna click on you, and we'll do an ILS 36 right approach. We can execute that guy. We'll go back to the departure arrival page and check the legs. So we're gonna go Lyric, ELD, then we're gonna go to Hoburg. So we're gonna click Hoburg and go up there, drag him up there, execute that guy. Hit next page. We have a disco right here, and because they're asking for vectors, which ATC would give you. So we're gonna go Hayden up onto vectors there, execute that, and everything looks pretty good from there. I don't think we need to do anything else with the FMC. Like I said, it's very, very simplified. It takes care of pretty much everything for you, which is really nice. So let's set up the MCP next. Let's go over here to this. We're gonna go to altitude of 15,000 at departure. The reason, because these altitude switches take forever to turn. That's one thing I really hope they address in the beta, is before it comes out, is make these switches go a lot faster. These are very, very slow. I mean, you're seeing it in real time here. And there was 15,000 right there. Just blew right past it. No big deal. Go right back down to 15,000. That is set. Let's turn our flight directors on. That's the most important thing. Before we can get any of this information to our flight director, we need to do that. So it's gonna be a vertical speed departure. I'm gonna do up at about 200,000. Yeah, 2,000 feet per minute on that guy. Speed, we don't have V speeds calculated in this airplane for the most part, so we're gonna be going like 140. So let's just add 20 to that. Actually, let's just be safe. I don't know what the weather is going to be like up there, so we're just going to put it at 180 knots. Auto throttle is armed. Heading, we're going to be departing runway 35, since the winds are pretty calm here. So we're going to go to 350 on the heading and make sure that that guy is good to go, just as a backup, because we're going to be using LNAV. So we can go ahead and click LNAV for that. There it is. And as you can see, the flight director is coming alive and showing us where we need to go. So MCP panel looks pretty good from here. Once we get in the air, we can hit speed and we'll be good to go on the auto throttles. Everything else looks pretty good from there. So we're pretty much ready to start the engines, get pushed back and all that good stuff. Parking brake is currently released. I'm gonna double check my trim there for takeoff. That looks pretty good. And we're pretty much set here. Let's go ahead and go. Anti-collision light comes on. We're gonna ask for a push cart, a push truck. Let's see if Stephen Hawking will let us. Now. Oh, he's sending it now. Woohoo! That's good. We can go ahead and flip our wing light on as well. More visibility, the better, right? So we're waiting for a push cart. I think he drives right through this building. I don't remember, but yeah, here he comes right there. Just driving through everything. No, oh, he's gonna crash right through the carts, the baggage carts. Gotta love that. And he's gonna push us back. Oh, he's got animated windshield wipers. That's pretty cool. I like that. I like that, dude. All right, he's gonna start pushing us back here. Here we go. And it's pretty rough. They're pretty rough with you. All right, so we're good to go ahead and start engine number 1. So let's go into ground mode and turn engine 1 here. There it is right there, waiting for that N1, or sorry, the N2 to rise to 20%. There's 20, we'll add that fuel in there. And that engine should come alive. Now, one thing that I've noticed with this beta 737-800 is the fact...
Okay, I'm clearing now.
Okay, thank you, Stephen Hawking. Is that the issue... See, and it resets that thing whenever you start the engines. But I've been getting hung starts, and that's not really good. All right, that's good. Let's go ahead and start engine number 2. Turning 2 right there. Looking good. Wait for that 20% in 2. There we go. Between 20 and 25 is fine. We add that fuel. It comes alive like so. And we're waiting for that start valve to go away. Sometimes that start valve will hang open on you, and if that happens, you have to restart the entire simulator. Kind of sucks. Let's go back on the legs page. I don't know what it's doing there, besides being dumb. It's pretty cool that for a default airplane, they give you 2 FMCs at work, you know? That's pretty crazy. Gens can come on bus here. APU can go off. We can go bleeds. You want to make sure these bleeds are right so your passengers don't have any problem. Ground power can be off. I don't know why that was even on anymore. And APU can come off now. There it goes. Cleaning up the overhead panel. Everything looks pretty good there. We're ready to taxi down to runway 35. So that's off to our right. Actually, I think we just make a direct right out of here and cross those runways to go that way. I'm pretty sure. All right, we can go ahead and set our flaps for 5 for departure. Should be 3 notches of that. We're gonna go auto brakes RTO, and we're gonna arm the speed brake in case something happens on our rejected takeoff. We'll have that ready to go. We can reset that guy. And I think everything looks pretty good from where we're standing. One of the downsides to this airplane is the sounds are absolutely atrocious by default. I'm hoping that they're gonna use that technology that they did on the Cessna, you know, and apply that to the 737. That would be pretty cool. But as you can see, the sounds are very, they're not volumetric at all. They don't have any, there's no Doppler effect here. Let's hop back up. Let's taxi on out of here. Let's go taxi light on. We'll just keep it on dim. That'll work for me. Brakes are released. Add a little bit of power. And we'll taxi down to runway 35 for our departure. All right, we got a nice little taxi heading out of the gate area right now. We'll make a right turn here, and this should take us across the 2 runways. And we'll make a left towards Millionaire, and we'll be right down there at runway 35. Now, it is a little dim in the cockpit, so I'm going to go ahead and turn some lights on here. We got the background light we can turn on. We've got the flood light we can turn on here, just to turn up these lights a little bit, you know, so we can see a little bit more. There we go. A little bit of glow there. Never hurts. All right, we don't have any ATC, so we've been cleared for takeoff. Let's go ahead and go boom on the lights. We're going to go to strobe and steady. Strobe and steady. Logo light is fine where it's at. Everybody else looks happy. Let's let the flight attendants know they need to be seated for departure. Flight attendants be seated for departure. And we can go ahead and turn on our wipers actually to a high mode because we're getting ready to roll and it is still pouring down rain. Not that it accumulates or anything. Sometimes certain airplanes in X-Plane 11 will accumulate the precipitation on the airplane, which is really cool. Let's go to bright mode for you. And we can turn all these lights on here as well. Make ourselves really nice and lit up. And line up on runway 35. Looks like we got to sell right off to our right on departure, so we might hang to the left a little bit and get around it. X-Plane 11, you don't mess around with any kind of cells because it will actually kill you, unlike FSX. FSX, you can just fly right through the stuff, but it's a little bit different in X-Plane 11, so we got to take the proper precautions where needed there. All right, ready to go, so let's go ahead and add that power. There's no toga working in this airplane that I know of. And we'll set our takeoff power now. There we go. Pull it back a little bit. Takeoff power is set. Airspeed's alive. Forward pressure on the yoke. 80 knots. Cross check. V1's gonna be right around 135 or so. V1. Rotate. Get up on that line there like that. Very nice. Positive rate. Gear up. There it is. We're getting here on the line. We're gonna stay away from that that cell there for right now. Stay about right there. Looks good. And we're gonna go around the cell. We'll go ahead and turn these guys off. We'll clean up the airplane on departure here. Flaps in. Looking good. We're gonna get right around the edge of this cell here. Start our turn. Follow that flight director right like that. Still hand flying it. We're not on autopilot yet. Just want to get around that cell first. Doesn't look like it's any kind of danger, but still, just to be safe. Just to be safe. We're holding about 180 knots right there. Perfect. Clean up the airplane some more. Auto brakes are off. And we'll bring the airplane all the way up like that. Going through the clouds. Looking good. Still hand flying it. Get right around this stuff. On the instruments, gotta love IFR flying. There we go. Line still showing about 2,000 foot per minute. Looking good. And we can start our intercept heading as we fly through the outsides of these clouds here. Crossing through 4,000 feet. Make our left turn now. To intercept this guy. And that's how you properly get around a thunder cell that might be hanging around the area. And since there was thunder associated with it, that's the reason why I didn't take any chances. Nice turn here. Looking good. Looking really nice. Flying through those clouds. I love X Enviro because you really get a sense of speed when you're in the clouds, you know? All right, let's start shalling this off a little bit here, and we can go autopilot engaged and speed to 182. We're going to increase that to 250 knots. Looks good. Still monitoring the weather. I think we're going to be pretty clear of it. I think we managed to do pretty well there. Look at that. Still in the soup. We should be breaking through the clouds here soon enough, though. Soon enough. And we can go ahead and bring our retracts in. When we turn off lights and come off, taxi light as well. There we go, breaking through the clouds ever so slightly here. Climbing out of that that overcast that we had down there. Look at that. That is so cool. This is the reason. The reason why X Enviro, in my opinion, is worth the money is not only does it change the sky colors and the atmosphere and all that kind of stuff, but it also has a weather engine, which I think is pretty good. So if you look at products like SkyMax Pro and those guys, they've got real weather connector. They have SkyMax Pro, so on and so forth, and you're paying about the same amount of money. This one's just, you know, bundled up. And they have a really good roadmap. They have a good future ahead of what they want to do with it there. Coming up on 10,000 feet. Let's go ahead and chime them, let them know they can start their drink service. Whoop, come on. Come on, you can do it. Sometimes these things are a little finicky. There we go. There we go. Wing light can come off now. And we can increase our speed to 200 and let's do 280 for our climb. We can actually increase it a little bit too. We'll do 2,100 feet per minute. Pretty full flight today, but still want to make sure that we're going to be okay. It's holding the speed no problem. Look at that, breaking through the overcast layer. That looks so cool. I get a lot of questions all the time. How do I pan around the cockpit? I just right click and spin it around. It's a standard feature in X-Plane 11. All right, so that was the one to go. So let's go ahead and continue our climb up to flight level 250 next. We'll step it on up. It takes a while. Gotta be patient with it. Let's go ahead and increase our speed to 290 knots here a little bit. Get a little bit more speed. And the speed brakes don't need to be armed anymore. We can just pull those guys back right there. So those are out. That looks good. You can't turn this landing gear into the off position. It'll just put the gear down if you click it. So don't bother with that. No need. Panel lights, don't need them right now, so we can actually turn this stuff all off. All right, crossing 18,000 feet. We just hit the standard button right there. Boom. It'll put us in 2992. And we can continue our climb up to flight level 250. We are about 106 nautical miles to Lyric, and that's about 17.2 minutes. Through the magic of editing, you don't have to deal with that, so we're continuing our way up to 250. I'm gonna go ahead and flip this airplane into Mach mode, and we're gonna climb out at Mach 0.70. Looks good right there. And it'll be picking up the speed. And we're probably gonna cruise at about Mach 0.82 today. We're gonna try to get some speed up since we're not paying for the gas. You know, we don't have to worry about it. We're gonna climb, maintain flight level 370. So let's go ahead and even reduce this guy a little bit more. And up to 370 we go. Yep, one to go there. So we'll put this at 370 and continue our climb. All right, we're at flight level 370, so we can go ahead and let everybody know that they can take off their seatbelts. Yeah, they're gonna be excited about that, let me tell you. If we can get the stupid arrow to work. There it is right there. I usually kind of dip it down one. There we go, and it's off. And now we can increase our speed to, like I said, Mach probably 8.1 today. We're gonna try to get some speed out of this baby. But yep, next up is Echo Lima Delta. And that's going to be an air conditioning light. That's not good. What are we getting that for? Not happy about that. I cleared the problem. All it was the APU bleed was still left on. I forgot to turn that baby off, so that's why it was giving us the air conditioning light. Looking good right now. 93 miles to ELD, and flight level 370. Clear skies.